So I can't remember. Casey Newton, has he left the Verge,
He
or did
has
he
left
just
the
take his
Verge.
subscribers and launch? Okay, he's left the Verge. So this is a piece by Casey Newton in his last days at the Verge, and it is a great piece. It's about a new social network called Telepath. Telepath was launched by or started by Richard Henry and Marc Bodnick, who had previously worked at Quora together. They have had Telepath in beta, and they announced a wider release recently. It is only available in private beta right now. It requires an invitation. I asked for one, so please give me one. But it is a hybrid of Twitter and Reddit. And so there's like Twitter, it has a central scrolling feed of updates. But like Reddit, every post needs to be created within a group, within a subsection of the site, like subreddits are on Reddit. It requires real names. So when you sign up, you have to sign up with your real name, which the article cites that it makes it difficult for activists and dissidents who want to remain anonymous. It requires a real mobile number as well. But it also tells you how to act. So the other social networks never told us this is what we expect of you, the user, on how to behave on the platform. So the first rule is actual behavioral norms for your time spent on Telepath. And they are: be kind, don't be mean, don't attack people or insult what they post, assume that people have good intentions, and if a reasonable person would think that you're being a jerk, that's not okay. Persistent behavior that's on the line. So this is where, people skirt the boundaries of policies. Persistent behavior that's on the line is not okay. Okay, so it's setting up. These are the norms of the community that you have to abide by. They plan to add moderators as it grows, and they're assuming that they will have lower profit margins eventually because they're going to have a heavy investment in full-time employees working on these issues. They decided to launch more widely only after implementing a key privacy feature, which is that the conversations delete by default after 30 days. So taking a page from Snapchat's playbook, but you can save your conversations to your private archive as well. But it's an interesting, different approach, learning from what everybody else has not learned, of all the other social channels, of what is wrong with them. So we'll see how it works, but I'm anxious to get my invite because I definitely want to try this out and see how it works.
It's in many ways very similar to Clubhouse, where you have to be brought in by a person. You're not just given invitations. I haven't quite figured out how I get an invitation, but there is the same thing. It didn't start out with the rules of behavior, but they had to evolve. It's limited in size right now, but eventually it's very well financed and it will be a huge network. There have already been problems there with stalking and anti-Semitism and insults. And there are moderators. There will, over time, I'm sure, be paid moderators. There's one person who runs a virtual dinner on Saturday night, and 100 people come to that. And the difference between it and what I think you're describing is that Clubhouse is voice only, and at the moment only on iOS. But you have to have your real name, you have to have a picture, you have to have a bio. It's you have to raise your hand if you have something to say if you're not a moderator. But what I find astounding about it, and I guess it's astounding about every social network, is that people are talking constantly 24 hours a day. Like, I don't know, doesn't anybody do anything else anymore except talk? I don't quite get it.
BL, there are different time zones in the world.
It's the same people. It's the same people. They're
Well,
always there. I'm not going to name them, but I wonder what the hell else they do.
The article does cite Clubhouse, so it does make the comparison to Clubhouse. What I found fascinating of it was one, the rules of behavior from the start, but also saying at the outset that we don't expect to make as much money as the other channels are making. And that's, I think, a key aspect of it, because if you're then getting investors or your attention is go public, then you're setting it, the framing of it, that to be successful, we don't have to be like everybody else. And,
Right.
That's kind of the brilliance of what Jeff Bezos did with Amazon. See, he didn't make money for forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. He just, and that was, it was just growth and growth and growth in different areas. So we'll see how that works, but I'm impressed with the approach anyway.